Hi everybody, and welcome to video number 35 in my EFT series. And this video I decided to do for helping with addictions. Now that was something I wanted to do already back in February or March time, but then we of course had the coronavirus and the lockdown, so I was focusing more on those kind of issues, and this was always on my mind to do, and I think it's a particularly good time now to do this because for many of us coping with addictions is not easy in the best of times, but during times when there are certain triggers, and obviously the coronavirus pandemic and the lockdowns were triggers for many people. So I kind of decided this is really the good time to do this as we are coming out of lockdown. Now, how do we break an addiction? So I used to, or I still do, hypnotherapy, helping people to overcome addictions with hypnosis. And what happens there is you reprogram subconscious mind, but the person is like in a trance kind of like state. While we can achieve the same with EFT, when you don't you don't need to go into any trance or anything like that. So before I start, so I don't forget, I would just like to ask you to take responsibility for your own well-being while you are tapping along with my video, and if you could ask you to wash your hands. If that is not possible, then do not tap on the face points, just skip those, just do the hands and at the top of your head, on the collarbone and underneath the arms. So yeah, what I would say about addictions is that why do people get addicted? And one of the reasons that happens is because there's some lack of love. They don't feel loved, appreciated, and they don't allow themselves to feel their emotions. They're pushing their emotions to one side, and it's easier to go and grab something, like it could be chocolates, it could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be cigarettes, but it could also be less obvious things, like for example books. People can avoid everyday life by immersing themselves in books. Also, it could be that people can be addicted to unhealthy relationship. There is a kind of, how would I say, one person depends on the other in a kind of unhealthy way. This could also be said about abuse, that, it takes on average a woman 7 or 8 kind of partners, or before she finally realizes that she is actually being abused by that partner. And what the EFT does, it rewires your brain and change those patterns. So see, as you are tapping on the acupuncture points, calming messages are sent to the amygdala part of the brain, and the amygdala part of the brain is like involved with the fight and flight. And the reason why tapping works particularly well with addictions and helping us to stop cravings is because these calming messages are sent to this amygdala part of the brain. One other thing I was going to mention is, you see homeless people, they ask for money, and, I often hear people say, I don't want to give a homeless person any change because they will only then spend it on drugs and on, alcohol, and that is not helpful. And while that is true, it's kind of being very judgmental, because, you know, you don't become homeless with, you know, if you were full of love. These people hurt, and while it's definitely not good for them, you know, to rely on drugs and alcohol, it's kind of their way of coping. And, you know, there's a lot of stigma around things like addictions, but it doesn't mean that the person who is addicted is a bad person. It's just that the person hurts kind of inside. And, you know, I heard people sometimes say, oh, I'm so unreasonable, I should be more clever. I'm clever enough, I'm intelligent. Why do I keep on going back to all this addictive behavior? And, you know, I would say to anybody like that, you know, be kind to yourself and learn to love yourself. Because what helped me in my own life was that, you know, I learned to love myself, and I learned to have healthy boundaries. I connected to myself, and I learned what is good for me. Rather than doing everything for everyone else, I put myself as a priority. And that is what helped me over the years to overcome my addictions. And I've been coming back to my addictive behavior loads and loads of times. And, you know, as I said, till I was able to break this wiring, it took some time, you know, and things like, as I said, triggers particularly would bring me back to my old ways of behaving. But what I would say, there is, you know, light at the end of the tunnel. And you know, how you break a pattern is by repetition. You repeat the new behavior so many times till the wiring in the brain changes. And that is why EFT is very good in here. I mean, like, people sometimes say to me, oh, you repeat the same thing all the time in these videos. And yes, that is very true, but it's also very true that it is to help you to rewire the negative patterns which you have, you know, over the years picked up. And in the subconscious mind, it won't go away like just like that. So that's why the repetition and keep on, you know, like tapping is definitely a good thing. So let's go to the tapping now. Let's focus on the tapping. And you know, people will often say, well, what do I say? And the only thing you say is just connect with whatever it is that your addiction is. So I will leave it for you to fill in the blank, whichever addiction it is for you that, you know, you find you want to overcome and change your life for the better. Okay, so we'll start on the karate chop. If you tune in to your addiction, and also rate it on a scale of 1 or 0 when I don't, you know, it doesn't bother me, and 10, it's as bad as it can get. So even though I'm addicted, I do love and accept myself, and that part is very important, particularly this addiction, this acceptance. You know, it's okay. Even though I do need this substance, it's okay. Even though I need this fix really badly, I love and accept myself. I forgive myself. So now we continue tapping just with the reminder phrase. This addiction, and just fill in whichever it is for you. I feel addicted. I need this fix. All this addiction, I did not allow myself to feel. It just feels so uncomfortable. So I just need this fix very quickly. I am addicted. All this struggle, I just feel addicted. I just don't want to feel. It's better to get this fix. I need this fix very quickly. Okay, so take a deep breath in. Tune in to how you're feeling. And what you could also do is that you could take that thing which you feel addicted to and just hold it in your hand, because particularly EFT is very, very effective for craving. So just have a look at that and see how much you want it, and you can continue tapping on that. So even though I crave this chocolate, oh, I really need to have this chocolate, I need this chocolate now, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I really crave this chocolate, I really need to have that. And it's very powerful. It's like number 10. I really need this chocolate. I love and accept myself anyway. Okay, so just continue tapping and keep noticing, where do you feel it in the body? Is there any emotion? Is there any shape or color? Just tune in while you're just tapping on the reminder phrase of whatever it is that you crave. So I will just keep tapping on craving this chocolate. I'm just craving this chocolate. This craving for the chocolate. I just want this chocolate. I crave this chocolate. Craving this chocolate. I'm just craving that chocolate. I'm just craving this chocolate. This craving of chocolate. All that chocolate. I crave this chocolate. I crave this chocolate. Okay, so now at the end of that round, put your hand on your heart center and tune in to how it is for you. What is the number? For me, the number has gone from about 10 to about 7. But now try to tune in to, what is behind all that. And I do feel a lot of sadness behind, feeling alone, all on my own, and kind of feel like butterflies in my stomach. And if it is difficult for you to kind of tune in, that's okay, because you've been repressing all that all these years, and it could be actually of any help to you. So please do it. Take a piece of paper and pen and draw what it looks like. Especially, this is really helpful if you really struggle to get a feeling, what it is, what is behind that. And so down here, this is what I drew. All this kind of blackness, darkness, but there is also some anger, really. Just tune in and draw it up if you want to, and we'll continue tapping. And so even though I've got all this darkness, all these dark grosses, it's like dark butterflies in my stomach, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I feel all this sadness is at the pit of my stomach. It's like all these grosses, all these black and red crosses, like as if I was on fire, really. It's like burning sensation. I love and accept myself anyway. So even though I've got all this sadness, all this heaviness at the pit of my stomach, I love and accept myself anyway. Okay, so just all this blackness, all these black butterflies in my stomach, all this heavy feeling in my stomach, all this blackness, it makes me feel sick, all this sickness in my stomach, all these butterflies in my stomach. And if it moves somewhere else, then continue to tap along wherever it goes. I feel it going into my chest now. So if it moves, continue tapping wherever, just follow it up. So for me, it's going up now into my throat. It's a kind of tightness in my throat. So all this tightness in my throat. I just feel like I can't say a word, you know, like I'm just speechless. And you know, as I'm tapping, I kind of imagine it's kind of going. I'm releasing all this blackness. It's just loosening up. The tightness in my throat is now loosening. Loosening in my throat. And yeah, please feel free to make another picture as it keeps evolving. So what I've done myself, as I feel all this loosening and letting go of that, this is how I've done it, and there is a kind of light at the end of the tunnel for me. You know, there is hope. So continue tapping on how it is for you. Just visualize it. Tap on these colors. So, you know, for me there is this pink, and the colors changing to brown. I'm just going towards this light, and there is this hope, and I'm at peace. I'm embracing this new change, this new light. I feel compassion for myself and love for myself. I'm letting go of all this tightness, all this blackness. I'm letting go, I'm releasing it all, allowing for compassion and for love. And I do really love myself. Okay, so take another deep breath. And again, do a picture as you know, as you are evolving and you know everything's changing for you. And this is what I have done. I've just done some flowers really, because at the moment of the year there's such a lovely buddleia. I put the flowers there at the back, and you know, like I really have learned to appreciate and tend to my flowers, something I never did in the past. You know, I never cared much about flowers. If my husband would give me flowers, I would say, no, why do you bother? You know, I kind of say, oh, I'm not worthy enough. And you know, these flowers also remind me of my husband who passed away 4 years ago, and he loved this buddleia. You know, it was always his favorite time of the year. Also his birthday is coming up. So it's just, you know, tap on all these things. And also, you know, like creative things are amazing in helping you overcome your, you know, addictions. I always was very bad at school at art. I was very good at everything else, but rubbish at art. And my teacher used to make that clear, even to my mother, you know, she's hopeless at art. But, you know, I enjoy it. you know, I might be hopeless, but it doesn't matter, you know, it's for me, as long as I enjoy it, you know, I don't care, you know, what other people feel or say about you, because, you know, I love myself, so I won't be kind of affected by what other people say. And, you know, when I say other people, I have to sometimes gossip about other people. And the reason why they like to do that is because it helps them with their own feelings of unworthiness. It's always easier to say, oh, somebody else has got that, I don't. But actually, you know, very often what we don't like about ourselves, we like to find it in the other person and criticize it there. So watch yourself sometimes, you know, if you know, just think, oh, well, you know, I don't like this and that in the other person, and then think, well, what is it in me? So let's round up just with a round of positive tapping. So, you know, just this compassion for myself. I listen to my body. I am in control. I nourish myself. I love myself. And I allow myself to feel. And I make peace. Peace with myself. Peace with all parts of my body. And there is hope and compassion. I am embracing the new changes. My new life, when I enjoy life to the full. All this love for myself. So just let that love seep in and continue tapping till you come to zero. Keep on drawing whatever comes up for you. And thank you for watching my video, and I look forward to you during my next video. Bye for now.